Hey, so I'm gonna share a flow as I do. I sit for these videos because I always got something that I've got to get out. And at the moment, it's for the unbelievable choice of consciousness that someone is directing toward me, when consciousness is about choice. Okay, so it's pretty much what it is for our growth from birth to death. We get to choose. And so when someone is big noting themselves in the world and calling themselves this and that, like spiritual teacher and guide, and yet they have something that they must do on their human path, and they're not doing it nicely, honestly, cleanly, like as a human, I have to go and face this person and be nice and clean and just nice, you know? Take a look at Matthias De Stefano's social media. He does it all the time where he's meeting up with various people and he's nice. He's there in person and he's nice. But as this spiritual teacher and guide approaches something going on in his life, he's absolutely slow, choice, limited, low, vibrational, consciousness, choice. And I am appalled. Like, it's literally low and slow below the hips. All the consciousness choice has been that, and consciousness is a choice. So it's not spiritually, oh, we'll pray to the gods and we'll call on the gods, and at this location we will call on the gods, and this is what the gods believed. And then in your own life, right, you do utter complete fucking shit. Like, on show, it's call on the gods and be one with the gods, and the gods believe this and we will do this. Bless the gods. No, yeah, and no. Not if you're not actually walking one with decency, because they didn't become gods. Or no, there is no Jesus. I'm going to get to the representation of God that I have respect for all deities, right? But when it comes to, and all deities have their own soul evolution, just like we do, soul evolution. Just qualities of the soul that are unique to them, right? So how Jesus fits amongst that with me is he's just like of the simplest form of God coming through the chest of a being, and in his short-lived lifespan, that crystal through the chest was just his resonance. So there's nothing, for me in it that says he represents something specific. As some deities, we go to them and, praise with them for assistance, And so consciousness is a choice from birth to death. How you choose to operate is how you're going to grow. And Matías De Stefano has chosen for a long time to be an idiot to me. And I get the energy in the field all the time of just fucking lazy consciousness. Just, he's waiting like he prays to someone. It's all going to fall into place for him. And that if he leads with his own thoughts to walk a different path that's not about calling on the gods, but calling on his own actions, he's like afraid of this, right? And it's directed to him, so whenever he listens to it, if he listens to this, I don't, whatever. But the point is, your choices, his choices, your choices, Matías De Stefano, are appalling. So don't hang out in my field and expect that I am of resonance to your choices. I will only join with and light communicate, light network, right? For this evolution we're all in, with people that are here for the light. You put on a show that you're here for the light, and you do appalling, lazy shit in slow down daily life and throw out little crumbs like, I'm on my way, but I just want to make sure that I get sex. And imagine a whole day and night where this is the resonance. Sex. That is the only frequency I get from this bloke. Meaning his consciousness choices are sex is the only freaking way for anything in his head. Stop contacting me. Stop calling me. Get out of my field. He is not, and whoever else is similar in a way that they think, I can just do a certain thing because I am this. And then they'll use the excuse, well, he does, I'm a sensitive. All right, so from here, I want to go to staying on the topic of what we think, therefore choose and act on, and discernment, and sensitives. And I do the inverted commas because some baby themselves in it, whereas sensitivity should be a discerning, applied strength. Not a forceful strength, strength as in strengthened, applied, discerned. So discernment and discerned sensitivity means you don't buy into just anything. Because when they do, they've sold themselves as a sensitive, right? They're living the identity, and there is truth in it, right? But there is the shadow and there is the sensitive, right? So we are sensitives. We are sensitives. Those that are naturally drawn to the emotional, like embrace the emotions as a part of how you direct your consciousness. Or those that are more mental based, guides, please clear my field because Matthias is doing his usual crap with my hair and everything. And electricity, decline it all, don't want it. Nor let him allow electricity at my feet, and use the curtains with their sound for his dumbass travel. Electrical movement in the field, and don't let him use the fucking sunshine either. Yeah, he does. This is a regular thing. It's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous. And he thinks he's so clever because most people aren't educated in the fact that some can use electricity in the power in the field to direct energy, and it just breeds more of this lazy-brained lifestyle because you're human first and foremost, and you let yourself get away with all sorts of lazy shit. So he has such a twisted perspective on living. When it comes to taking action that is outside the usual spiritual thing he does. So, we waste a lot of time when it comes to our uneducated awareness of what we're doing with our energy. And this spiritual teacher, this is what he needs to bridge with his sensitivity into strengthening. It's a part of everyone. Don't buy into everything and think that you're a part of it. Think that you've got a role to solve something in it. Take on something. Make things better. Because he's given himself this task that says, Teresa shouldn't be so truthfully confronting about things. This isn't the way I live. I am too sensitive for this. Okay? Now, as you grow up as a sensitive, you can't get out of life with your baby talk. All right? What you need to do is discern what you're hearing and quit the excess emotion toward it. Someone's trying to give you a mental clarity message, and you are emotionalizing and dramatizing, and you just spin your freaking wheels in Hollywood drama. And I wish it would come to an end. Because you are lazy-brained constantly with the, I've chosen that I will do a slow path forward and I'll annoy you the whole time, and this is your role. You get annoyed and you serve me because I'm oversensitive. No, no, no. Get some balance. No one's serving you at the vagina. Now, get up here. Okay? Get some mental freaking clarity. Matthias DeStefano. You are lazy. You've been lazy for freaking ages. You want to see life your own way, and it's not the only way. You've chosen a path I don't resonate with. I'm way too mature. I'm way too experienced. I use both spiritual and practical as one combined. And you overdo the sensitive. Now, while we're on that topic, I also want to bring up that there is talk of the rise of the divine feminine, right? So, if I broach the topic of this, it always comes into play in a very crystal clarity way. That is pretty much in an overview nutshell of what I'm talking about. That we haven't embraced the feminine nature of the universe. The feminine nature is the fact that it is divine source. Can you grab it? No. It's the soft, it's the everything. It is the love light. And if we were to call something masculine of nature, it's the earth, it's the body, it's the density. And these aren't separate. So the rise in divine feminine is our educating not only into trying to solidify what religion is, and that if we don't do these things, then we're not spiritual, all right? It's to let go of this kind of rigidness. And it's the fact that you wake every day, you will receive intuitively information that you don't even acknowledge is part of your spirit, is part of the softer nature of your being. It's the feminine nature. So like feminine would be the petals and masculine would be the stem. So you can think of it like that, with the softer nature of your spirit, the beauty, just all the beauty that comes from a flower. Okay, did you make it? No. Okay, so it's spirit. It's a spiritual life we're living, and there is a soft nature and a masculine nature. There's like soft and hard, feminine, masculine. So there's a yin and a yang. So this planet has needed the light consciousness, the light rising consciousness. So this is all of our feminine. But it's also being seen because of the interplay of this, where the ego, the stronger, the masculine have taken over the softer predominance, trying to dominate the feminine, the woman. So there is a rise, as in feminine as well, the feminine in form. Okay, because we do have the uterus, which is like, which is also a universal womb in the men's location as well. But the women have the, the capacity for birth, and that is a power of the universe. Like, this world was birthed. So we represent as feminine this, we naturally embody that softer nature that is the power, the love light, and the law, which is why masculine and feminine really are the one source, because you can't separate love, light, and law. Like, love and light, and then what comes from that in law is of the resonance of love and light. So it's not like humans, we make laws, right? It's not separate. We don't have to hold something in place. It's just all one. Love, light, you can only have the highest nature of laws in place. So yeah, there's obviously, if you think of divine feminine, it's not to put like a goddess on show and say it's about, but we can do that. It's like praising this connection in physical form. So she is predominantly feminine in physical form. But still, he is still the same. Only he just doesn't have the same. There's a whole purpose there for the two. And the evolution of the planet, consciousness, etc. So who knows how things will go in the future, because like we are being taught now on Earth, and at least for half of my life so far, at least from around 25 years of age, you start to see that people want to be more expressive in love light, and by love light law, they have every right to just express however their soul wants to express. There is no sexuality or operation of how you want to use your feelings on earth that is governed by what's good or bad or right or wrong. What some groups, religions, and etc. will try to enforce on other humans, like they have some kind of superior oversight over God, because God light is of the highest nature. If we're going to think of God of anything, it's of the highest nature. Okay? I wish we would come to that acceptance too, so I'll drop another reminder here. God light is of the highest nature. Okay? So all of creation. And when you visit a denser, masculine, denser planet, you're going to have to embrace the denser nature of energy operation. It's not up in heaven with the highest light, but right now we're in the bringing the more light to earth, because it's just evolution. Okay, so we've got to accept not to act out in, become a part of, using our divine force nature in operation that really screws everything up away from, I'm moving away from the highest possible choice I can make. I'm hiding out doing something like this because I think I'm going to get more. I think I'm more clever doing this, or, I think I've got this position and I think I'm more clever than all the people now, and I'll say who can come into this country and who can't and who can stay here, and what you're doing is wrong and what you're doing is right, etc., all this bullshit, right? And in the light evolution, it's saying, look, if you don't tidy up your act, it's going to get shone on. We're all clever enough to know this, right? That God light is, get conscious of what you're doing with your God light. Otherwise, where else do you think you came from, really? Just stop and have a think about that. And if you're into meditating, really get center and but those that meditate and really get center and want to align to that feeling of home, because that's what meditation does, aligns you to love. It's real. So if you're a meditator or a spiritual teacher, how could you be so two-faced like Matthias De Stefano operates, trying to enforce to me for way too long that I'm a meditator, I'm a teacher of being, I'm a leader, I'm an energy healer, I work with everybody. It's all this I am, right? But then how could you say, that's me part-time, and in the background, I'm going to enforce a particular way of life? I'm going to be horrible-natured. I'm going to be disgustingly focused. I can hear her tell me repeatedly that it's not her, she doesn't resonate with it, that she does not live the same lifestyle. And this guy just goes round and round and round and round. Does everything possible to slow it down into, this is the way I'll manifest. It's gonna all be through sex. That's the energy. Energy doesn't lie. This is what I'm experiencing. And yet, on camera, complete fucking opposite. Okay? Energy doesn't lie. There is God light There is planet Earth that created the planet, give us through design bodies. What we do with that isn't hidden. It's energy, come from God light. So clean up your fucking act, because that's how she operates. And at 49, she's not here to waste time. Seriously, someone give him a slap around the head, okay? Thank you for helping in the spiritual parts of life, but get practical. You're not talking to someone where you should talk. You don't get to tell a woman what the fuck she's gonna do. You don't. You don't get to say, I'll just drop little breadcrumbs around, and when you notice them, you'll give me sex before I even get there. That's what he's done all the frickin' time. I don't live to any of this. I see it. I feel the energy. I read what's happening before he even realized I've got an oversight to what he's doing. And that's why working with the light, calling on the light, and the humans who are light, who assist, but working with the light, all of us, is not by saying, how do I hide? How do I hurt this person? How do I get my deviant sexual way? How do I make life the way I want it to be? How do I avoid going and talking to someone for as long as possible? And then being so intricately spastic-like, two-faced, I will only do it my way. If I don't resonate to the energy, it's not happening. I told him for years. And that doesn't change right up to the microsecond and on to all microseconds. So, wake the F up. You gotta do human. So in the discerning, right, in that you have like, and I love the way Caroline teaches this too, Caroline Mace. Because it's another way of looking at the same thing. That we're not superhuman as in, one would think maybe like superhuman is, you don't have to eat, you know, you're just so powerful, you can do all different things, super, like, right? No, you got to take care of your physical form, you got to balance your emotions and keep them in check, and you got to check what you're thinking and the motive behind, intentions behind. And it's best if you have some strengthened, pure intentions based on our consciousness design, how you're going to see life. Like I have learned since my early 30s that I choose, no matter what's going on in the field, this world needs love, right? So who am I to really, although through this period with Matthias, oh my God, he gets me in some certain moods of his avoidance of doing truth, that when I see people just stuffing around, right, and not like actually getting to the point, or it's like, you know, you see these ads on YouTube that say, never, ever ask someone how their weekend was. Never, ever. And like these dressed up women in like power suits are saying, don't ask them how they are. And then there was this one woman sitting in the back of the cab, and the cab driver or the chauffeur says, oh, so what do you think of the weather? And this woman in a power suit goes, you need small talk training. It's like, oh, Christ. Because what I'm trying to say here is, what the hell are we doing if we're trying to cut out human nature? If you can't handle discerning when a conversation should end, you're the one that's got the problem. We are the ones, humans, that need to connect with light and say, how are you? Have a little bit of like, see people as love, that they're not having an easy time all the time, and give them a couple of minutes. If you feel like they're dragging on your energy or your time, you are the one to discern, how do I politely see myself out? By taking care of your own energy field. It's not that you stop and become some cold-hearted wench and don't like engaging with people. No matter what level of power in society you are at, I mean, if you don't have a minute for people at your heart chakra, or like in alignment with truth that everyone is on this planet, not in some power struggle, and we actually have to be nice to each other. So if you get a minute for someone, right, just ask them how they are, okay? There is no law that says you have to stay there and listen to the whole weekend. And that's your training of getting out of these situations politely. All right, so you look to yourself. I'm tired of hearing these like, oh my God, just don't lose human nature. All right, that's our design. That's light. So we have a certain amount of energy, and if you use your consciousness intentions that say, I got time for people, because I like it when people have time for me. I don't mind when someone says, so how are you? I'm not going to go, oh, well, blah, 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 and keep them for half an hour. I'm just going to say, oh, thanks for asking, yeah, it's not bad, or it's this, or it's that, or... it gives you an opportunity to always also speak in love. Oh, you should see this thing that just happened to me. Or, share. Christ almighty, it's not that difficult. And so with the discernment, I just don't want to go on forever, right? But the discernment, like when I was taking a walk this morning and I was thinking how when people are going through waking to this spiritual energy side of us, this is when you can notice what you actually give your time to in your focus, because that right there is your energy. So becoming aware of that, and then the other thing to become aware of is your choices are your energy. So discernment means you get mature enough to take a look at how you operate. Do you easily get distracted because you're caught up in some attachment or emotional struggle or some motive or intent that you think, it's normally shadow aspect, like I have to fix things, or if I don't notice that, then I'm missing out on something. I have to be across everything. That kind of thing is going to drain your energy. Just for like 3 examples there. And we do a lot in a day. So it really does come down to some micromanagement, and who else best to do that but yourself? So it's just like in a day, just remembering, getting some kind of trigger that says, I'm getting down on myself and about to give up on something, right? Do I have to? Okay, because there's an emotional interplay you can be conscious of there. That you're actually letting a thought and the emotion control you. Is it actually where you want to get to, or would you like to introduce something new there for yourself that actually goes easier on yourself and lets some emotional, mental, new way of approaching it, just for an example. Okay, but it can be anything at all. Like, I don't know, you come up with a dilemma that you don't have enough time in the day for something for yourself, right? Well, what you can do is look at that as, perhaps I am giving too much focus outwardly and I need to bring balance. All right? These are important things because this is your energy, and this is essentially taking care of where you will actually be moved to. Right? Because once you become conscious of how you're using your energy, like, are you just sending it off? Are you getting distracted in like emotional interplay? And there goes half your energy for the day. It really does. There goes, oh, and it feels like that person's just gone and taken something from me, so now I'm without more energy. This kind of stuff doesn't have to happen if you become conscious of, like, an alignment, an inner strengthening of mental, emotional, physical balance. It is like self-love, taking back what you focus on, and it doesn't have to do with the tug of war of the outside world. This is the only way you get to that sort of crystal kind of balancing, right? That is truly your soul shining through. It's like this alignment you get from taking care of your awareness of these things. So physicality, sleep, eat, little exercise, little sunshine, drink enough fluids, make sure there's a balance of the different kinds of intakes of substance, foods and things. And that's consciousness. That needs to be done. And you need to like fall in love with taking care of yourself, which we don't all do. But like, if you want to operate at your optimum, you just do that and it becomes like a natural thing and you enjoy it. And then emotionally, you don't have to be known as like so sensitive, where people do just extend that that's who they are, when the truth is, put some consciousness there and pull your energy back in from engaging with, even approaching, and tell yourself, I know what happens when I do that. I feel depleted. Is there any real need? No. And this is where higher teachings come in handy, because you learn that in discerning this, you'll pick up on higher consciousness way of living, truths, because you're not expending in just anything. Okay? And a lot of the time in the world too, people operate in the mental body knowingly, like salesmen, and anyone really knows, how they operate and how we need to get things, right? But it can be overdone when people are trying to draw your attention into something. That's another discernment. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean you can't have this inner strengthening stance that says, I see what's happening here. Guides, is there anything here I need? This is what I do because I'm so used to the energetic, direct impulses. I don't always have to ask them, but I love this higher connection that my guidance will just serve me rather than me trying to get involved, think about whether I need something they're trying to sell, or be called in to do something without actually checking in with my gut if it's for me. This is where we master the discerning of how we use our mental, emotional, physical energy so that the soul can be more resonant, and you operate more from this, and you realize these are just tools to take care of in balance and help us live our souls. So it's important, if like you really want to clean this up, to notice just how much you're distracted on little stuff. if you really want to feel the full kind of embodiment of feel good at the solar plexus and the heart and like giving to life, and you know life gives right back. Like it really does. If we are keeping these things in check, we feel more embodied in the moment as the unique souls we are, and more shines to others. And that's when people will say, well, you I don't know, you look different, or you appear different, there's something different about you. Well, it's normally when the person is keeping themselves in check and they're in this happy inner balanced state. They're doing their conscious awareness work. They're not just giving off their focus to anyone that wants to, the discernment comes from your gut and your chest, so like your throat and your heart, this feeling of, and consciously aware at the mind, that like when someone's trying to, you got to trust the feeling as to whether it is something you can just spend a few minutes with, or feel in your gut, this is something that's going to expand and I'm included. I don't know what it is, but I can feel that this is something that includes me. And when you start to live more in this awareness, and it's a contented awareness inclusion, right? Because energy speaks and we're supported. Everyone's energy speaks to each other, and that's why you can pick up whether people are like into time wasting or just distractions on anything, or avoiding things, or purposely trying to distract you, purposely trying to get your attention so that you maybe don't do something else. People have all sorts of motives. They may not like that you're succeeding at something, so then they'll try and get your attention another way and pull you out of being this, contented version of yourself that is listening, that is learning, that is interacting, that is lighting up people. People are lighting up each other. So you can see how we've been operating, and it still is the 3D, not so high of values between each other. And I don't stand for operating at lower values, which is why I've branched into opening up more about this discernment. Because it's not some stupid interplay of life where we can just be stupid and lazy about it. Oh, I'll just do this and I should get this. No, use all of you. Use your consciousness. And if you have weaknesses about who the hell you are, then ask your divine guidance, is it because I've got to go there and this is my growth? Because if she's saying I'm disgusting, I must have something missing here that I'm not seeing. And I'm going back into Matthias and I. Yes, Matthias, you might act all spiritually clued on to assist of what you know so far, but you have not finished your growth. And enforcing ego doesn't mean you've finished your growth either. So stop trying to trick yourself. If you actually need to do something else with a woman in life, because that's what humans do, then that's what humans do. Now, Mr. Chakra Consciousness Teacher, go back and listen to any other teacher's teachings. Don't keep your head up your ass about your own teachings because you can blah, blah, blah about them. Go and listen to someone else that you actually have to do it too. You are not just here as a speaker of it. If the heart chakra consciousness and the gut and the truth says, I actually know, this woman keeps telling me I got to do the human thing, but I keep avoiding it because I keep having this fantasia, kind of glamorous look and feel about life, and I don't want to have to go and do what everyday stuff? Like just talking to you? That couldn't be the way. So let me tell you, everybody, again, I said this to Matthias only, I think, yesterday, that any kind of extraordinary you want in life, any kind of extraordinary that you want in life, is always going to come from this check-in balance of the ordinary. So the physical, the emotional, and the mental. And you have to have some kind of spiritual life. Like, you have to have some kind of just an inclination in your mind that you are not just put here and then you die. Like, you can do that if you want. I'm not telling people what to do. This isn't Teresa's laws. This is, you have to have some kind of, even if it's just, I know that even though I don't know that person, I can read that they're not feeling the best. I can't really see their face. I can just see them kind of going like this or something. And they're sitting there for a bit. And so they're in a slumped kind of state. Something's going on for them. That's not just from the physical form. That's the feeling that you know emotionally people feel this way. Okay? That's a spiritual thing because you will feel it. I know how that person is feeling. That's our design. What's another example? Because I don't think I got that through. But it's pretty much simplified the fact that we could just sit in front of each other, right? But we do a read on each other. All right? Now, we could just be sitting there like this, just normal. But you would feel something. So what's emotions then? And what's mental then? It's all energy. And what is energy, the nature of energy? It's spirit. We don't just punch into a laptop online that we want to buy this child and it's going to have blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's actual living spiritual presence in this dimension. So we need to have some kind of just accepted awareness that we do have energy fields, and you can look into this and sit with it. Don't try to prove to the mind so much, because then you're going to leave it out of your energy field. Like, you're not going to embrace it into your feeling system, your mental and emotional feeling being. You are a spiritual being in motion. So we have to have some kind of embrace where, how does the spirit function at its best? When the physical, emotional, mental have our conscious awareness, not expenditure so much on anything, and that we actually balance ourselves and take care of our spirits. Our spirits are naturally higher vibrational, heaven on earth in physical form. So they function, our higher self, like our higher view of our earthly being. There is the soul and the higher self. So the higher version of us is the higher self. And this is how our soul can embody on earth. It's naturally higher vibrational. So if you're not feeling, checking in balance about what you're expending your energy on and how you're taking care of yourself, then your spirit's going to be like lower and lower vibrational. Your thoughts, your mental patterns are going to get lower and lower vibrational. You're going to have all sorts of lower self-talk. You're going to give out lower options. So life experience, taking care of yourself, discerning what you spend your energy on is all a necessity of your spiritual practice. It is not just out there and we're going to be saved one day. God bless. It is not just out there and we're going to be saved one day. We are the consciousness. So either we aim to match it in our choices, thoughts, etc., or we're going to operate lower vibrational and be like, why is life like this for me? Okay? Look in the mirror. You're choosing. That's what I mean. Look to yourself. Stop looking out there. And with Matthias, he like disembodies from himself, leaves his physical form wherever it is, and brings the rest of it, however he moves in the field, I don't know. I don't see a purpose in it unless it's for some higher purpose. He's using it for insecurities and slowing down, getting into lower vibrational demand on planet Earth, wasting time and energy. Okay? Consciousness needs us to evolve and look at how we're using this energy. This is not some fantastical 5D friggin' rise of consciousness. This is us. Our choices. So if someone pulls you up on things, Matthias, because you're operating consciously choosing low, then it is wise for you to grow doing more. And if you don't want to listen to me, you don't have to. But I'm not some little lady that's got a vagina and going to do as she's told from this low vibrational crap. That ain't changing. I ain't going low for your dumb operation. So, step it up. Clean, forward, confronting operation. Humans. And I do mean confronting. I mean, what the hell? What else are you here for? Of course you got to confront life. All right, so I will wind down now on just about on the hour. I just felt like I still had things that need to roll out, and probably do have more, but I should probably get going. And so we got the stag spirit take the lead. Let's just have a little reminder of that one because it's still relevant. I'm not called to pull out another card. So take the lead is a lot to do with what I was just talking about anyway. Take the lead in your consciousness, choices, and being aware of the levels of energy that you are. Because, you know, I say this in the most heartfelt way. For Christ's sake, we need everybody's soul. We need that light. Yeah, so Stag Spirit is calling us to step up. I'll just do an overview read. A reminder that now is the time to lead the call to be sure, strong, and compassionate. And others look to you with this, for this, and these are the responsibilities we need to take on in all of your relationships. Be willing to see the best in others so that your compassionate heart keeps you on the right path. So yeah, everything I'm talking about is about this spirit at the moment. So the best in you is coming into view, or it is wanting. You are called to lead. It is wanting to come into view. So we need to do that compassionately with ourselves, and then we will have compassion for others as well. What a gift you are. Stay humble and authentic and walk your talk, for this is how a wise leader leads. Our protection message with the stag says, Some aren't as far along on the journey as you. You are called to be compassionate and patient, and you find yourself leading the way. When others struggle to follow you, they may be unsure that you can be trusted, challenging you to be kind and strong, challenging your value and questioning your worth. Yep, all of this is happening. Know your spirit has put you in this place, in this time for a purpose, and will not abandon you when you need help with your new responsibilities. Or perhaps you are actually uncomfortable leading, maybe temporarily trapped by your small self, so self-talk, keeping yourself small and hidden, like Matthias, and therefore not stepping up, to the soul's path, instead operating sort of lower and slower and just not wanting to do it really at all. But temporarily trapped by the small self, and are therefore promoting yourself too strongly, afraid that others might see weakness or imperfection in you. Let go of your fears. If others see anything in you that truly doesn't resonate to who you know you are, you have to follow through on who you know you are. So get a clear understanding of who are you. You can be anything you want to be. So if you feel that you want to be a strong person and lead, then that's who you are. Do the things authentically to you to support that strong nature. Or in communication and you want to be a communicator, then that's who you are. All right. So do the things that support it and go towards the things you want supported in community or, relationship in life. And most importantly, compassionate with yourself. So unless it's something really extravagant that you don't have, like a natural sort of talent, and you're egoically pushing yourself towards, then you might get depleted and hit a brick wall. But if it's something you can develop, you've had inclinations and signs, you have a talent and you want to develop, then that's who you are. So you've got to let the fears go and let Stag Spirit remind you that you have what it takes to lead wisely and ethically if you practice self-honesty, compassionately, strongly standing up for yourself, doing the things you want to do. Self-honesty, and listen to others who wish to support you. I support anyone who steps out and wants to be something in life, as long as they're not egoically struggling in life and pushing others down, and like he's trying to do at times, telling me this is the way a man comes forward in relationship. No, hell no. No, it's not. No, it's not. A man stands up, doesn't know everything in life, and stands up for himself as a nice, decent person. And his natural qualities will shine as he supports himself. Now that's who I support. And it's not just Matthias on this path together when he eventually sees that that's the only way and not this shit he's doing. But it is for anyone on this planet. My soul is about, and my soul path is about truth and power, empowerment coming from inside us. Not ever seeing people's choices and behaviors on this planet ruling us like we are now. So it's so good we're in this 2026 number 1 year of evolution, waking up to the light that we are and what light truly means. And that is the softness, strength, the feminine, if you want to call it, but that is the consciousness of spirit, that is us evolving. God bless. I'll be back.